Hi, and welcome to this lesson on area. Alright, area is a nice and simple thing. When we're talking about area, we're talking about the space that a shape takes up. What is inside that space? Alright, the other thing about area is we're talking about two dimensions. So the side by side. Okay, so we're looking at the things inside the shape. Now because we're talking about two dimensions, that side by that side makes up what's in here. Okay, because what it sort of creates is a bit of a grid shape. Because there's the two dimensions, whatever this unit is here, when we multiply it by what that unit is, we're going to get that unit squared. So it's important that when you're doing your answers, even when you're doing area, is that you make sure you put that little 2 above the unit. But let's go and have a look at some really simple ones. The first one is a rectangle. Okay, a rectangle has a length and it has a width. So, let's start with the formula. The formula is length times width. Length times width, nice and simple. Okay, substituting in, the length is 10. Okay, the width is 5. 10 times 5 gives me an answer of 50 centimetres squared, or square centimetres. Okay, because I've done centimetres times centimetres, gives me square centimetres. Alright, length times width, nice and simple. Remember that one. We're going to use it again up here. That's why, because we're looking at a square this time. Alright, now your teacher might be teaching you side square, and that's fine. That just means side times side. Okay, I like just to say length times width, because we've used it over here, we've already learnt it. Why change things up? So, in this case, we have a length of 7, but we also have a width of 7, because that's the beauty of a square. All sides are the same. So, formula, length times width, substituting in, 7 times 7, give me an answer of 49. In this case, we have millimetres, square millimetres. Alright, nice and simple. Let's look at two more. Okay, let's have a look at these two. The next one we go on to is a triangle. Okay, now a triangle has a base and it has a height, or better said, a perpendicular height. Now that is the key thing to remember. The height of any triangle is perpendicular, so at right angles to the base going up. Okay, so when we look at this, the height is actually here, because that is at right angles. If I was to give you this measurement here, you wouldn't be able to use that one because it's not a height. Even though it goes from the bottom to the top, it's not the perpendicular height. So the area of a triangle is, the formula is base times height divided by 2. And the reason why we're dividing by 2 is a triangle is exactly half of a rectangle. So to get half of that, we're going to divide by 2. Now, substituting in, the base is 16, the height is 10, and we're going to divide by 2. I like to put brackets around that. 16 times 10 is 160. 160 divided by 2 gives me an answer of 80. The unit is metres squared. Okay, nice and simple. Base times height divided by 2. Alright, the next one up here, the last one, is a composite shape. Now, a composite shape is a shape made up of many or two or more similar shapes, or simple shapes. So squares, rectangles, triangles, circles, things like that. Okay, in this case, all you need to do to make these ones easy is break them up into the shapes you know. Now we can clearly see that that's an L shape. But if I put a dotted line down here, like a cut mark, I've got a rectangle and a rectangle. I'm going to call this rectangle number 1 and this rectangle number 2. Okay, a formula. The area of a rectangle is length times width. Now we have 2 of them. So it's length times width for the area of this one, plus the area of that rectangle. So we substitute in. The length of this one is 7. The width is 4. The length of this one is 9. The width is 4. Okay, I'm going to do one extra step. 7 fours are 28. 9 fours are 36. If I add those two together, I get an area of 64 square millimetres. Nice and simple. So when you get composite shapes, break them up into the ones that you know. Okay, nice and simple. Let's do 2 practices. You go away, have a go, and we'll come back and look at the answers. Okay, let's have a look at the 2 of them. The first one is a rectangle, a length of 12, a width of 5. The next one is what looks a little bit like a house. The height from there to there is 3 centimetres. From there down to there, so the rest of it is 7. Okay, and from here to here is 4 centimetres. So for that one, just break it up into the 2 shapes you can clearly see it there, and work them out separately and add them together. So go away, have a go, we'll come back after the break and we'll go through the answers. Alright, welcome back, hope you had a go, hope you did really well. Let's have a look at how you went. First one's a rectangle. The area of a rectangle is length times width. Substituting in length of 12, width of 5. 12 times 5 gives me 60 square metres. Give it a tick if you got it, well done. This one up here, breaking it into the 2 shapes that we can clearly see. I'm going to cut it there, so there I get a triangle up the top and a rectangle down the bottom. So, formula, the area of the rectangle is length times width, plus the area of the triangle is base times height divided by 2. Nice and simple. Length of the rectangle is 7, width of the rectangle is 4, base of the triangle is that bit there, which is also 4. Okay, that was a little bit tricky, but pretty easy at the same time. The height from there to there, I'm giving it to you, is 3 divided by 2. 7 times 4 is 28. 4 times 3 is 12 divided by 2 gives me 6. Add those 2 together and I get an answer of 34 square centimetres. Okay, hope you got both of those right. I hope this helps you with some nice simple shapes for area. Check out the rest of the videos on www.schoolmate.com and we'll see you next time.